Welcome, grade 7, to your life orientation class. My name is Ms. Mshokokorutu and I am a teacher. So today's topic is a bit of an interesting one. This one affects us indirectly or directly, sometimes both. So today's topic that we'll be covering is substance abuse, addiction, when it comes to the mind. So let's continue with today's lesson. So our lesson, the types of forms of substance abuse. Substance abuse or drug abuse, it's the use of drugs in ways that are harmful to individuals and to others. So let me say a drug. Let's first start with like a drug. You know, with substance abuse, using the drug, you get high. So most people use it as an escape. So to avoid problems, to avoid certain situations, and they're so addicted that it even becomes like avoiding the problems you've caused by addiction. Okay, so we'll start today's lesson. The first type of form of substance abuse is alcohol. So alcohol affects everyone differently. So you'll find people, people say they're tipsy, others will say they're drunk. It's like it affects people differently. It affects the way you walk, it affects you don't drink and drive, you don't become a pedestrian when you're drunk because there'll be just accidents everywhere. So alcohol does affect our thinking capacity. So you need to think about that, of like how this type of the substances affect us. And then the second one is your tobacco products, which you know, mostly cigarettes. Now I have a question for you. Do you think that one cigarette can cause addiction? Think about that one. We'll answer it at the end. So, and then we have your opioids. Opioids fall under a category called OTC, which is over-the-counter medication. Over-the-counter medication is your medication that is prescribed by your doctor. You can find it at your pharmacies, you get it there. So opioids are pain relievers. You mostly get them for excruciating pain, but they are so addictive. That's why they are controlled to avoid just giving anyone for any type of pain. It has to be like very excruciating pain, and medication or painkillers prescribed before are not working. So opioids are very dangerous and they're very addictive. Take note of that. And then we have your stimulants. Your stimulants are your heroin or cocaine. The reason why they're called stimulants is because of how they affect your mind and your body. So with heroin, it is, you get a rush of a good feeling. You're feeling good, like everything, you're just happy, everything around you, you're just good. That's how it stimulates you. You like hyper you up, you're feeling good. But the downside is that when it wears off, and it does wear off quickly, everything slows down for you. And then with cocaine, it speeds up your mind, it speeds up your body. So the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think is running at 200 kilometers per hour, and everything is just happening so fast. You're talking fast, you're thinking like very fast, and you're feeling good at this moment. But then when it wears off, you need more because you want to feel good all the time. You want to feel energetic all the time. So you'll keep going for more, because once it wears off, all that energy is gone. What are you going to do with yourself? You're not thinking fast. You're not doing things fast. You're not moving at 200 kilometers per hour. So you feel like everything is just not moving at all. That's why you'll go back for that high. So you keep that energy. And then you have your hallucinogens. These ones are the ones that make you hallucinate a bit. So your drugs, you have medication that makes you hallucinate, you have gas that makes you hallucinate. So take note of that. They're called hallucinogens. You can hear it in the name, you hallucinate. You see things that are not there. And then you have cannabis. Cannabis is, as most of you may know it, weed or pot. So mostly smoke it or you bake it. But yes, so cannabis affects us two ways. First one, you might be feeling silly, be laughing at everything. And the second one, you'll be feeling sleepy or forgetful. And then it also causes but something called munchies. So with weed is that you'll feel hungry and you'll be eating. But then it also affects your appetite. Sometimes you won't want to eat at all. So you find that if you look carefully or investigate and research around you, mostly weed smokers or cannabis users, they're a bit of light. They're a bit of because they've lost weight because it affects your appetite. So now let's move on to the next one, the symptoms of drug abuse or substance abuse. So you using these drugs, for example, I was telling you about cocaine. Cocaine, you're feeling very energetic. Everything is moving fast for you. You can complete your work faster. You can think faster. You think it's stimulating your brain to work. You're catching the answers. You're catching like everything. You're on point. But then when it wears off, where does it leave you? Now you're feeling all those emotions. You're feeling heavy. You're feeling like, you're falling apart. So you get that intense urge to use the drug daily to keep up with that energy. Same with opioids. Once they wear off and you have that pain or you like that high, you'll use it daily. And then comes from using it daily, just, with your pills, just using one pill, you feel like, one pill is not enough. So now you start taking more pills because one pill doesn't make you feel high because now your body is used to it. Your body is used to having that one pill and now it's not making you high as you want to. At that first feeling, you're chasing that first high that you had, that first feeling you had. So now you're taking more pills or you're taking more drugs than you're supposed to, or not, you're not supposed to be taking those kind of drugs like your cocaine and heroin, but you're taking them more because you're chasing that high. So you're taking larger amounts over a longer period. And then comes, you don't have money or you have money for groceries, but you want your drug. So now you're taking money from your groceries into buying drugs and there's no groceries. Or you're stealing to buy drugs. You've heard of stories, or if you've seen it, because you're social media kids, because this is the time we're living in, we have to accept it. You have cell phones, you've seen it, or read about it, of drug addicts stealing, asking for like R2 just to feed that craving, that need. And then now you're not meeting your obligations, you're not coming to school, you're dropping out of school, you're neglecting your work responsibilities because you're chasing that high. When you're high, you have to go when you're craving it, you have to go get that drug. You can leave work, you have to go get that drug, or everything falls behind because you're trying to chase that high. And then you fail in your attempts to stop using the drug. You'll be like, oh my gosh, with having many interventions, but you always have that need to go back to taking that pill, to taking that drug, to taking that powder, to smoking it, whatever the cause may be. And then there's withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms is when you're trying to quit, but it's so hard that you feel like it's better for you or your body to just continue taking the drug, because when you're not taking the drug, you can barely cope. You can barely survive. So you're having this withdrawal symptoms. Those are symptoms of drug abuse. And then personal factors that affect substance abuse. You have intrapersonal factors. These are your intra is internal. That's you yourself. So this is the end of our lesson today on substance abuse. I hope you guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me some questions. You can even recap. You can recap types of substance abuse: alcohol, tobacco over the counter, medication, cannabis, your stimulants, ways to that factors that affect you, personal factor, your interpersonal factors within you, and your interpersonal factors surrounding you, external factors, and then prevention measures. So guys, this is the end of our lesson. I hope you listened and took note of everything. Thanks.